then, yeah, let's do some arms. This will throw everybody off to do some biceps. But that'll be fun. Let's do that. I don't know if we're rolling or not, but might as well start here, right? Yeah, this is kind of one of those little lower impact, higher volume kind of days. My body is, I'm trying to listen to my body. I hit sort of a higher amount of intensity in the last workout, and much like how the music is skipping on me, my body's got a little bit of a hinge to it. So gotta listen to that so I don't overdo it and put myself back a few notches. So we're gonna go a little higher volume rep wise, a little lighter intensity, some good movements for that, using the landmine because of the levers with that. Not as quite as demanding and damaging. And then carries are always good for me to kind of reinforce this position in my shoulders and my shoulder girdle and stabilizing that locomotion. So let's start with some mobility. Oh, they call this the world's greatest stretch. Speaking of the world's greatest, what about the world's greatest supplement? You know it's got to be creatine. All the studies prove creatine is one of the most helpful supplements out there, not just for muscles and strength, but also for cognitive health and all kinds of other health benefits. So creatine gummies is a cool way to kind of introduce that and also to adhere to it. So to be consistent is everything. And for me, creatine gummies help a lot with that. So Legion makes a great product. I like it. It's kind of covers the bases, but anything where I can kind of move with mobility to me is preferable. If any of you have actually gone through the Mass Performance program, you'll notice the Mobility Days has a lot of movement with that, with the mobility, so it's not just stationary. Kind of resembles more athleticism. Anyways, let's get into it. So we're gonna walk in, we're gonna bring our leg out. Bit of lizard with rotation, if you will. Come back. Let me walk forward. You'll notice I'm wearing khakis today, and thanks to Viore, I can still move with flexibility, and it's not an issue. Let's just say these are Dockers. I'm shredding these things. Oh, believe me, I've shredded a bunch of pants in my day. Oh, and that's always unintentional, but I've learned to get me some stretchy pants. That's the move. Oh, man. Hammies are a bit tight. Whew. Okay, on the way back, we're gonna do inchworm to upward dog. And so we kind of combo these together. So I pike real good in the middle, get the calves, Achilles, and hamstrings. And then we go ahead and get in that upward dog position where I can get, some lower back. The key here is to flatten the heels down, locking the legs out. Walk it out. Drop the hips down. Oh yeah, that hyperextension feels good. Oh yeah. This is as close as you'll see me do yoga. I know somebody out there created like Broga. I haven't really looked at their programming, but I thought that was kind of funny. I'm not sure if anybody does it. But I think more mobility is good. I think more dudes should get into it. I'm not afraid to do it. I know if I went into a Gold's Gym and did this right now, I might get some looks, but I encourage it. Next walking one, let's go. Our kind of side lunge hop. Forgot that part. This one's a bit more dynamic. This is kind of like a staple move if you have a desk job or you're just like sedentary and hunched over a bunch. We need to open you up, expand that chest, reinforce back of your shoulders and your back, just to try and keep that upright posture nice and tall. And this is actually where I'm pretty sore, is my rear delts are feeling it from stabilizing the presses. I pay attention to that because that's what I'm going to feel the most once I keep going in the extreme levels of performance. The stronger you get if you don't address all these little signs and all these little signals that are being provided to your body. It's like it just gets louder and louder and louder until it becomes an injury and a problem. So listen to it, take time, address it. That's my little pitch. Let's do some carries, huh? So today I'm gonna go a little heavier with the carries. We just want to kind of reinforce good posture. This I go nice and slow and intentional with these steps. Stay as upright as I can, minimize any sway left to right, and just kind of keep getting used to anchoring that body down, loading it substantially here. So let's do it. This is like lighter day music for me. You get in the pattern here, it's like grunge and like punk. That's like watered down metal. Those microplastics taste great. So what do I do on the in-between days? I pretty much work out most days, I'd say 5-6 times a week now, but like the 15-20 minute, and we kind of call them trigger sessions. This is a little bit more than a trigger session, but I'm just trying to keep amplifying the signal, but not overwhelm it. So the majority, it's like 3 days a week where I'm really keeping the intensity up, and the rest I'm really keeping that low, but it's got to mimic a lot of what I do in my intense workouts. So I'm still pressing, I'm still rowing and squatting and hinging and all the fun stuff, primarily pressing. So I don't think I've got a day since we started without pressing, and that's just because I have to keep it going. Yeah, so this has been difficult because like lunch here is like always something that I'm like terrible at like planning for because things interrupt. I've been increasing my protein substantially, so you could say I'm bulking because I've added about 500 extra calories of shakes. And so that shake is on top of my breakfast in the morning. And then I get home and I drink a shake. And then I have a meal. So I do the 3 meals a day, but then now I have like 2 substantial, like 250 calorie shakes in between. So I'm trying. I'm actually actively trying, and it's not as easy as it seems to just bulk and keep it consistently up. So some days it's probably been like even a bit of a deficit, and then I try to do better the next day. So it's kind of barely been a bulk if you average it out for the week. But yeah, I mean, I need all the help I can get. So honestly, this is like, I'm on the supplements, I'm on, upping my calories and protein. So far, I've been using the bioregulators, and my joints have been great. I don't have any restriction, I don't have any pain, and I've been doing a lot of things, so it's hard to kind of tease it out specifically to that, but it's definitely has to have been helping on some level, because I still feel like I have fluidity in my joints, and I'm still applying mobility moves and things to complement it, and adjusting the intensity of the workouts. All in combination, though, I think that it's been helping quite a bit. All right, we're gonna do some arms right now. I can't wait. I love arms day. Actually, it's funny because there's a little bit of bro in me, and that didn't sound right, but you know what I mean. I like arm day, and I like getting the pump and all that. I just don't want to admit it to Sal and Adam. So let's get it. I'm gonna set up a bench. Let's get a heavy enough dumbbell so we can do some pullovers. So for me, these are preferable cross bench. I just feel I get the best range of motion out of this. Such an understated, overlooked exercise. Should be a staple for everybody. Get the lats involved, get the triceps involved. There's not a lot of exercise you can get lats and traps. Even though I'm not really a muscle isolating kind of a dude. Slither your way back up. Whew. Yeah, that's a good one. Skull crushers, those are always fun too. But so normally I have a pretty good plan outline for these workouts, but today I was a little thrown off because of how my body was feeling. So, this is where flexibility kind of comes in. We got to adjust. And so it feels a little patchy, but I'm going to put this thing together as we go. All right, let's get another set in, and then we're going to work on more tricep dips with the rings, because I really want to challenge that further in my lockout. What's great about these two is the hip extension. My hip flexors always benefit from that. Good. All right. Good times. Good news is pressing is starting to get lighter. I can feel the difference already with my overhead position, lockout especially. So that's progress. Plus, mention a 5-pound increase in my weight. I'm sure that's contributing. It's one thing to say, like back in the day, I was able to do X amount of pounds, and then taking real inventory where you're at currently, it's always humbling. And I think there's something to accomplishing and stretching yourself at a certain point, because I already know in my mind I can get there. So for me, it's just a matter of work to get up to the point where I feel like I was at my peak. Now exceeding that peak, that's where the real, hopefully the training and the technique and the approach that I'm taking that's different this time, I hope that's going to help to lift me up past where I once was, not necessarily plateaued, but where I peaked. Like if I can exceed my peak, then I'm gonna be pretty stoked on that. When I used to play football, so I came back from college and hadn't played football a really long time. I think it had been like 10 years or so since I had played. And then I had the opportunity to play again in this reunion match. And it was all filmed and was supposed to turn into this awesome, epic, like Netflix doc of these two rival teams. And we had this sort of unresolved tension because we tied the game and our rivals at the time decided not to go into overtime and hash it out and see who the real winner was. So anyway, the guy that made that decision, he ended up working for Tap Out Films, and he was sort of the overseer of that company. And I think it was eating at him, and some of my friends were kind of poking fun of him online, and just kind of called us out and was like, hey, well, let's go. I'm going to train for this, and let's put your money where your mouth is. And so we did. And we trained for it for maybe 2 weeks, and they trained for it for almost a year, maybe 6 months. And we won. And we laid it to them. And that film never surfaced. So I'm calling you out, Wally. Where's the film? Do something with the film, Wally. We all want to see it. And just because you lost doesn't mean that it's not an epic story. Because still, I respect somebody that's going to kind of put their money where their mouth is and get out there at our age. So I think it was 5 years ago, so I was about 40 years old. And I'm out there running and hitting people at full speed like I was still 20 years old. So a couple of people got seriously injured, but not a lot. Anyways, that's my little rant. I want to see that film is the point of this whole thing. Just selfishly. Like, I wish we could do something with it. But Wally Rozaki, look him up and tell him, hey, Wally, we want to see the film. I would love to see him get just blasted with people that want to see the documentary and see it resurface. So we'll see if Mind Pump fans can kind of bend his ear for that. All right, we just did that. I want to do some pressing that's kind of low intensity here. So this is where we get to use the landmine for that. We'll start with 45 and see how this feels. Did I ever show you the trailer to that, Dylan? Oh, you'd appreciate it. It was all shot with like those red cameras, drones, like the whole nine. It was epic. Anyways, I like to do this in kind of a split stance. Let's see, this kind of twisting on me. Here we go. Problem with this setup is it slides. Ideally, if you can find a fixed mount instead of one of these janky things, that would be ideal. All right. Now what's cool too is I can do a lot of explosive Olympic lifting type movements with the landmine, which brings the risk factor way down. And it's pretty fun, and it still provides a lot of that same fast twitch type of movement that's desirable. And I'm going to be getting into that towards more of my focus when it gets to speed power, and I'm dropping the load down a bit and just purely working on acceleration and that snap, as we call it, which is going to be very beneficial for me, especially on that first part of the lift where I need that pop. I need to accelerate as fierce as I can. Fierce. I love that word. It's good. All right. Cause today, get some water. I brought my mouth guard the other workout and never used it. I was like, ah, silly me. I do think on the heavier days I should be using it though, because I don't know if you notice that about yourself or not, but if you're lifting heavyweight, sometimes you really grind those teeth. And it's problematic for me because I grind my teeth at night too, so I could use a lot less teeth grinding in my life. Because dentists are expensive. And thankfully I have a buddy that's a good dentist, but you know, still have to pay him, unfortunately. Yay. All right, one more of these. Let's do some ring dips next. Try. No. Oh, okay. No strength yet. Let's wait a minute. If you think you're good at dips and you haven't done this version, I got news for you. You're not good at dips. All right. We're just gonna do a couple reps here. Full range of motion is the idea. So I'll just explain my why here real quick. So instability wise is a difficult task to get full lockout when you have independent arms capable of basically any direction, range of motion, and then also to descend down low enough so I surpass 90 and I'm going lower and deeper, because I want that in-range strength, stability. I want all that stuff. So I'm not limiting myself to 90 degrees by any means. Okay, there we go. Yeah, and that low position really puts stress on the shoulder, but I like that, okay? I want to get strong in that range of motion and pretty much fortify all around my shoulder girdle if possible. Got love that keeps me waiting, a lonely boy. Do I have a pump yet? Arm day. Ooh, it feels good. Obviously, the only thing missing is curls, so we'll have to hit those at the end. Now I kind of wish I was wearing shorts. It's hot in here. Why is this always wet? I feel like we have a leak in the ceiling or something. Or is that my sweat? Ew. I just sweat on this side, apparently. Woo! Love it. Even with the sweaty handle. This is one of those funny ones because even powerlifters need to do curls. It's like you can lift so heavy, but if there's any weak part of the kinetic chain or the chain involved in the compound lift, the amount of load is gonna hit that weak point, and you're only as strong as your limitation. So a lot of times those biceps get torn on these heavy deadlifts, and it's all bad news. So accessory lifts, if you will, this is where these come in handy, much like a lot of my weird functional exercises and movements that I do, because the shoulder joint itself is a lot more complex in its capability, range of motion wise. Bicep, our action is just basically a hinge at the elbow. So, not too complicated. And if you're doing deadlifts, obviously, you shouldn't have a bend in your elbow because you're not trying to muscle it up. You're trying to maximize your lift with good form and technique. But if you have weak biceps, it's going to be vulnerable. So it's good to build up that strength to maintain that isometric tension and strength. But accessory lifts are important, right? We need to reinforce everything. It's the theme of all these workouts. Okay. Plus curls for the girls, am I right? Yeah. And I like alternating those in that position because we can keep it in the stretched position and then take it without momentum back up. Whew. It's good. Okay. Should probably do, I mean, as much as I don't want to, should probably do some abs. I wish we had a decline bench that was reliable, not a total wonky piece of shit. Is that one okay? Let's see. Maybe I will do that. Oh, I don't want to do these. Did I mention that I didn't eat lunch again? Ugh, what a rookie. You know what I should do, Dylan? I need to hire somebody to just spoon feed me every day so I don't miss meals. They'll just kind of hang out in the background, just blend in, but then, ooh, I'm hungry, and then boom, spoon fed. Ooh, core. I'm gonna make some weird faces here, so bear with me. Oh, okay. It's kind of on par with pull-ups for me. If I intentionally focus on pull-ups for like a few weeks, then I like them again and I'm strong in them again. But those weeks putting the work in suck. And I was very happy with just isometric core strength, not necessarily taking it through range of motion and really getting crunches in or reverse crunches or leg lifts or anything like that. So yeah, I don't enjoy this, but you know, that's where the work needs to be done. Don't avoid it. Lean into it. I'm gonna cramp this set, guaranteed. This thing like pinches your legs, dude. It's a total piece. Pro tip, invest in a good decline bench. I hope you enjoyed that. I'm all verklempt. What was supposed to be a really light workout was on paper. My body told me otherwise, but no, it wasn't bad. I can work with that. And we're just building more volume in, which keeps that signal alive, keeps me strong and ready to tackle bigger weight. So let's keep loading it on. Let's go, baby. See you next time.